straight to the faces of Arizonans about their Attorney General. It's unacceptable. Chris Mays' comments were a public safety warning about confusion that can be caused under Arizona law. Arizona is not the only state where ICE tactics have raised concerns. We must have transparent investigations into law enforcement actions to ensure accountability and reduce future tragedies. In my district and across Arizona, there are people coming to us every day who are terrified, including United States citizens, who are wondering if they should be carrying their passports with them in case they are stopped and racially profiled. Attorney General Chris Mays has been one of the only voices offering assurance to people that she is not going to accept unlawful behavior by these federal agents. She has opened a much-needed portal on her website where people can report acts of federal misconduct. These are crucial safeguards for our community members who are living in absolute fear right now. Right now, we're seeing masked agents in unmarked vehicles using chemical irritants, including spraying members of this body, elected sitting officials. We have seen them use chemical irritants, including against sitting elected officials in this body. They pepper sprayed a senator and a representative. They used pepper spray out of a moving vehicle against peaceful observers on a sidewalk. This is violence from the federal agents that's being inflicted on our communities. Attorney General Chris Mays continues to warn that confusion can put everyone in danger, both civilians and officers. Any trained law enforcement official would recognize that these tactics from these lawless, masked agents are dangerous for everyone. You can absolutely support law enforcement and still demand accountability from federal agencies. Attorney General Mays was warning about dangerous situations created by these chaotic federal operations, situations that have already ended in tragedy across this country. The last thing I will say is we cannot forget that there is a member of the House of Representatives, John Gillette, who called for a congresswoman to be hanged. And when the media pressed him about that, he said, actually, she should be shot. And an ethics complaint against that representative, John Gillette, was swiftly dismissed by Speaker of the House, Steve Montenegro. That should show all of us what they really think about these. This is purely political. The hypocrisy is appalling, and Arizonans are not falling for it. Thank you. I now hand it over to Senator Brian Fernandez.
Thank you. My name is Brian Fernandez. My family is called Yamaha for 6 generations, and I have the honor of representing most of southwestern Arizona in the state senate. Arizonans value many things that make our state an amazing place to live, but the bedrock of our lifestyle is freedom. And for so many of us, the ultimate expression of that freedom is the right to bear arms. Like many of you, I exercise that right, not just as a privilege, but as a deep, dedicated responsibility. But recently the message coming from Washington has shifted in a way that should chill every single one of us. We heard a federal prosecutor explicitly state that a citizen bringing a gun to a protest is subject to being shot. We heard President Trump himself look at a tragedy involving a legal gun owner, a nurse, a citizen, and brand that man as wrong simply because he had a firearm with multiple magazines. This forces us to ask, since when did the number of magazines you carry determine your right to exist? Since when did exercise that constitutional right turn a patriot into a criminal in the eyes of the president? Where was this outrage in 2020, when armed citizens gathered to protest the election results or the COVID mandates? We were told they were defenders of liberty. When Kyle Rittenhouse not only brandished a weapon at a protest...
Are you fucking serious, bro?
He wasn't condemned by the White House.
Every fucking time, man.
So I have to ask, do our Second Amendment rights only apply...
Thank you, dickhead.
...to correct political signs? Because in Arizona, our rights are not conditional. They do not expire based on the sense of the Oval Office. This hypocrisy becomes deadly when we look at how federal power is being unleashed in our own backyards. We are seeing ICE agents, personnel trained for the border, being deployed into open red cities. Let's be real clear, these stakes couldn't be higher. If you force your way into a residential neighborhood here, you are not walking into an empty room. You are walking into the home of an armed citizen protecting their family. That is our right. But if the federal government floods our cities with agents who are out of their element, while simultaneously telling us that anyone with a gun is a fair target, they are lighting a fuse. They are putting law-abiding Arizonans, people like you and me, in the crosshairs in our own homes. We must demand that ICE agents remain where they are needed, at the border, not in our cities. And we must defend the right of every Arizonan to protect our family without fear of persecution from their own government. Thank you. And I pass this on to former Senator Coconut.
¿Cuál micrófono? ¿This one? Pull it. A ver, buenos días. Good morning, everybody. Thank you to our amazing legislators for putting this press conference together. We thank you for standing up with Attorney General Chris Mason for calling attention to what is happening, the senseless acts from the Republicans. And my name is Raquel Peran. I am with Proyecto Progreso, and I'm part of many coalitions that are working to ensure that immigrant communities are safe here in Arizona. And I can tell you that we are grateful. We are grateful to have a fighter for the people like Chris Mason as our Attorney General. So why are Republicans acting so upset with Chris Mason? Because she told the truth. That's why. She warned that mass agents breaking into homes and snatching people off the street without warrants is illegal and unconstitutional and dangerous. That's the reality. Attorney General Chris Mace did her job. And let's make sure that she continues to do her job. We are asking her to continue to do her job. She puts the people of Arizona and our legal rights before any other consideration. Meanwhile, ICE has killed 2 Americans this month. They have pepper sprayed protesters in Arizona, including Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva in Tucson. And two of the members here at the state legislature, Senator Lauren Kuby and Representative Brian Garcia at the SIPS location in Tempe. Republicans can whine all they want. Arizona's got an attorney general who fights back and who has Arizona's back. We see it, we know it. And to the public who's watching, join these courageous legislators who are joining forces to say that Attorney General is doing the right thing. Join community organizations in amplifying the voice of Arizona, that we need to continue to have an Attorney General that has the back of every single person who lives in the state of Arizona. So, really briefly in Spanish. Soy parte de organizaciones que estamos trabajando con la comunidad inmigrante en ese momento de incertidumbre y estamos muy orgullosos que los legisladores del estado de Arizona se están uniendo en alzar la voz para decir que lo que hizo la procuradora de este estado, la fiscal del estado de Arizona, es lo correcto. Y nosotros estamos agradecidos que la Attorney General Chris Mace, que la procuradora Attorney General Chris Mace ha hecho lo correcto, que ella está en el lado de la verdad, está respaldando la Constitución, está respaldando a toda la gente de Arizona. Ella lo único que ha hecho es decir la verdad. Así que le pedimos al público que junto con estos fabulosos y legisladores que están uniéndose con Chris Mace y con otros líderes comunitarios, que sigamos respaldando a Chris Mace y que Chris Mace siga respaldando nuestra Constitución y a todas las personas que viven en el estado de Arizona. Gracias.
Thank you, everyone. This conference is now over, but we're available for